lot like lilies, but with less optimism, so let's go. Anyone here like to do drugs? Yeah. Oh, we got a cool crowd here. I like to do drugs too, actually. I'm a big benzo guy. Narcs. I do benzo. I don't know if this is on. Can you hear me? Yeah, all right, perfect. I do a lot of benzos. No, when I say I do benzos, I feel like I should clarify. I do Klonopin because my doctor recommended it because I get nervous when I talk to people. So I do benzos and then I'm prescribed it. But I still like to connect with people because I have an unquenchable thirst for human affection and validation. So I still like to pretend like, yeah, a lot of people do this recreationally. Let me swap stories. But the thing is that, my stories about my Klonopin adventures are a lot different than everyone else's. Like, I'll be talking to someone and be like, oh man, I fucking love benzos, man. it was crazy. Took like 3 hours. I blacked out. I woke up the next morning. I was covered in Taco Bell sauce packets. But I was in the McDonald's bathroom and I had the word bitch just tattooed right across my chest. It was wild. I love Klonopin. And I'm like, wow, nice. I once took half a pill of Klonopin. I fucking met my girlfriend's parents. Brian, Liz, and I had sparkling conversation all night long, minimal lulls, but when the lulls were there, it was natural and comfortable. Went to bed at 11:30, no melatonin needed. I'm probably going to need some more Klonopin soon because I'm going to have to graduate college eventually, which means I'm going to have to do something after college for the next 60 years, 40 if I'm lucky. And I don't have super high hopes, especially all the performers here we all went to Univai, a lot of them already graduated, so I know that it just falls down real quickly once you're out. So I got to really start figuring it out, and I don't really know exactly what I want to do. To illustrate that, I went to university initially to study computer science, and then I switched to philosophy, which is a really expensive and roundabout way of saying, at some point I just gave up. I just blocked in and said, well, you can't win them all. That's 1,000. We'll see what the next lifetime has for us. But it is tough because, I will have to presumably do something eventually. And I found out in my sampling of every adult I've met where I'm like, hey, what do you do? Do you think that could be good? Do you recommend it? And everyone has the same answer. They'll be like, okay, this is what I do. This was my path, from this career to this career to this career. This is what my day-to-day life looks like. And also, please, for the love of God, don't do what I do. Jesus Christ, do anything else. I regret every day, every 9 to 5, I just die a little inside. So, not a librarian. Turn that one off. Because, as soon as you're a kid, that's like the first thing they ask you once you start breathing is like, oh, hey, welcome to the world. What do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up? Which is, I don't like it because it implies that there's like a right answer, which I've figured out that there is no right answer to what you want to be when you grow up. It's more like when you're little Jimmy. So when you're, in 80 years, when you're dying, you're on your deathbed surrounded by nurses and beeping machines and the one kid you had that could afford to take off work to visit you. How do you want that giant wave of regret and sadness to hit you? Do you want to hit you from the, I should have worried less about money angle, or I should have worried more about money angle, or the maybe I should have tried art school, and it's just ultimately what I found out in my 22 years on Earth is that no one's happy. If you clock out of work and you're like, that was good, I had a good day, and things are looking up. I'm going to just assume you are lying or in denial. Or the only person, maybe LeBron James. If LeBron James came out and I was like, how is life, Ron? And he's like, it's pretty tight. Things are going pretty well for me. I'd be like, I believe you. Anyone else, even other people in the NBA, like sixth man, I'm like, yeah, you're happy. Bobby Portis. Really? Bobby. Anyway, so if anyone wants my resume, I'll be in the back after the show. Find me a job, or just while I'm not looking. Just make it faster. I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much. I'm David Messina.